Hey everyone, this is the first time that I'm doing a work with me. I was going to say plan with me, but we're not planning tonight. We're just going to be working and get stuff done. So the purpose of this channel is to just get our shit together. And what better way to do that than to work on our projects, on things that we've been putting off together. So that's what I'm doing. I have a lot of things that I've been putting off, and in my planner, it's just an arrow going to the next day and the next. And if anyone's actually watching this, just say hi. If this helps you be motivated so that you can work on whatever your projects are, whatever your side hustle is, and you've been putting that off, that's what this is for. And especially in the whole content creation, you know, era that we're in, for me at least, if I'm not recording whatever it is that I'm doing, then it's like, what's the point? Because whatever you're doing, you kind of like want to put out there. And I'm glad I'm finally doing this because I've wanted to do it for a while. I've been inspired by Renee Christine, if you're familiar with her. And she would be working on her business and on her website in the mornings, and I'd be driving to work. I'm like, that's so awesome. I just loved being around that energy and that vibe and that community that she built. I'm like, we could do that here also. If you do end up joining, or if you're watching the replay, let me know what you're doing for your business, your projects. I gotta say, I was feeling really defeated before I even started this tonight because I had planned on using my iPad, which is on a very specific stand that connects to my desk, and it wasn't compatible with Chrome, so I couldn't actually go live. Like it wouldn't. It's like, oh, you don't have the right browser, and so I uploaded or updated Chrome several times, and it still wasn't working. So after a while, I'm like, I give up on that, and I tried my Surface. It's working fine for now. I couldn't stretch the cables out this way, so after more time than I'd like to admit, over an hour of messing around with it, finally got it working. And I'm glad I'm not one of those people that sees everything as a sign, because then that would have been a sign to give up. And that's not what this is about. It's to keep pushing within reason. I don't want anyone to hurt themselves physically or your mental health or otherwise. So that's what this is. And I have to say, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, for at least a month. And I've been putting it off, and I would get comfortable in my day job. Then you have days like today where things happen and you're kind of you have a little bit more energy, if you know what I mean. A little bit more energy after work than usual because you're a little pumped and because you're pissed off, basically. And so that's what's going on here. It's like, you know what? I have other things to focus on, I have other places to put my energy. And if I could take a page from Struthless's mentality and his work, if you're familiar with his YouTube channel, he would talk about the things that motivate you. Think of your big why, whether that be financial freedom, your family, yourself, all of that. And sometimes that's not necessarily motivating enough for some of us. So he says something along the lines of your darker why, so to speak. And he thinks of somebody who was just shitty to him before, at work or something, and just treated him like dirt. So he wants to be successful so that someday she can run across him, see his stuff online or something. And he gets to be like, yeah, I made it, and you're still, whoever she is. And to be fair, that's not something we all are proud of. If you want to be the bigger person, especially in this whole self-help community, it should be from within and all of this. And I'm finding that a lot of my motivation is external, which is a big part of why I wanted to do this, because I am motivated by other people. If I make a commitment to other people, or if I'm obligated in some way, I'm way more motivated than to myself. I'm sure there's a lot that you can unpack there. And if there's any psychiatrist, therapist, let me know what that means. If a friend of mine is going with me to yoga or to work out, then I'm going to go. I've made that commitment and made that promise. But if I'm just telling myself I'm going to do it, it's not going to happen. Same thing with going to work every day. Yes, I worked my, whole adult life and teenage years But when it comes to just doing something myself, it's getting harder and harder to keep being persistent when you have a lot of roadblocks or when you're just more tired for whatever your reasons. And if you have your own circumstances that are challenging, then good on you for being here and at least trying. Good on any of you for being here and trying. Normally, I like to listen to music. I guess I'll ramble on. If anybody wants to post in the chat and ask me questions or vice versa, let me know where you're from, what you're working on. I am working on my, periodic report for the second quarter of the year. A little late, I know, but it needs to get done. And if you're new to having your own business, once you file an LLC, you'll get notices either in the mail. I got an email saying, like, yeah, you need to file this. It's free. Don't let these fake, businesses. I mean, they're probably legit businesses who are like, oh, we'll do it for you for $50 or $100. No, you can do it for yourself for free online. If you're late, they do start tacking on a fee. They don't make it that easy in the email. There's so many links to click on. I'm like, which one's the right one? File a form. I love to play music right now. It's just that I don't want to get the whole copyright strike thing. But I love listening to, Tom Odell, Odessa. St. John Roses really hypes me up, especially in the morning, just really gets me going. And I will just fill the noise with talking for now. Still have someone to work with, or if I get in the zone over here. Need to get some information. So I can pay for my filing since I waited a little late. Okay, so that's done. Yes, it's coffee, but it's decaf, so it doesn't count. It's only 8:30 at night. Get some Pandora on. I wonder if you could see it from there. I just copied over the planner that I just made. And that's one of the other important things I have to do is just put it on my website. I made a copy just like you would. And then you just download it, and it's a Google spreadsheet, which I turn into a planner. So this week, you can kind of see it from there. But yeah, I can see all the things that I've had to keep moving over. Something else I want to do is a walkthrough of this planner. And I swear I just get in my own way and you think that I'm like doing this on purpose. And the end results are things that you never see, which is what I'm telling you, because nobody ever shows like the rough spots, the failures, the struggle, the heartache that comes with just pouring your soul into something and then it's just not working. I feel like I'm talking louder because I have an earpiece in, which I do a lot whenever I have headphones. So I had started, doing the screen recording so you can see like what's on the screen, because of course you're not going to do what I'm doing now, which is having a video of it, and the quality is just crap and you can't see anything. So just like you can't see anything here, even if I move the camera closer, all the frame rates would be flashing. It's not ideal. So I was doing a screen recording and the audio. I hope that I'm sounding okay. Of course, please let me know if it sounds like crap so I can use a mic next time. But I have a recording app just for audio on my phone, just a recorder and a mic that I would plug into it. And so I'd have that going at the same time as the screen recording. At least that was the idea. But I kept recording just the audio and then not doing the screen recording, or like vice versa. And as I was doing the walkthrough, I was doing an example of how I plan, from the setup onward, from the budget side, from the habit tracker side, and how it affects the rest of the planner and how it works and what to do. It's really user friendly. It's really simple, but you still want some guidance before you're like just kind of figuring it out on your own. Like, what does this do? If you like to do that, go for it. No one's stopping you. I wanted to give a little bit of guidance, like this is like at least this is what it looks like. This is what you can do. All the links from the little calendar sections on the weekly pages and so on. And I started to get like really excited and really into it because I do have a cruise that I'm going on next year. And so I was kind of planning, a faux vacation just for example's sake. Because, and you should all be aware of this too, like you don't want to be putting your own like travel plans out on the internet so people know when your house is vacant or anything like that, or you don't want your home sitter running into anything. Maybe that's paranoid. Maybe I worked in 911 for too long where I just saw and heard the worst of everything. I think it's just to be, better safe than sorry. So I was planning this and I was getting really excited at everything that you could do with, with the budgeting side, with the weather, with the meal planning side of things. And I did it like 3 different takes of this. And either, again, screen recording was going, not the audio, vice versa. It was just so bad. It would be so cool to be able to put it together. But if you do them independently and then try to do audio over, let me know if that's something that you do, if you have any other YouTube creators on here, because I found that to be really difficult trying to see where my cursor was going. Oh, okay, and then this is what I was going to say. Because in the moment, just like now, you get really inspired by whatever's going on. You start to have the Jesus flowing and you get into like a groove of things. So that's something else I want to do, but I don't want this to be too meta where I'm working on that. And then like when I post my real next video, that's not a live stream, that's what it's going to be. So I didn't want to be too redundant. But if that's something you want to see, let me know. I will be doing that later. I also wanted to make another copy of this that's here in my planner, make an example sheet for the walkthroughs, because again, I'm just doing like the faux vacation, just a hypothetical, an example, like this is what you can do, like if you have similar plans or you have similar things going on in your life. So I'll put this on Thursday. And I have this section here for top priorities, well, top 3 priorities. And what's cool about the spreadsheets is that you can always add in more lines, rows. So you can make it top 1 if you're into the one thing. I love that book. If anybody here's read it or listened to it, I've listened to it several times. It was recommended to me by a mentor. And every time I listen to it, I'm always so sad that it ends because it really makes me feel impassioned about these are your values, that these are your priorities. And they're never telling you what to value. They're just telling you that whatever it is, make your most important thing your one thing to focus on, and like that's it. Everything else like doesn't matter. And how to like zone in on that. And that's partly what this planner is, without getting too much into it, because I will go into detail later. There's a values page. You will do that. There's a vision board. So it continues to really force you to look at yourself and your values. And it's like you see your plan for the week. It's like, are those really in line with your values? Or do you want to value those things and you don't? Or vice versa. You want to value those things and you really are like, I need to make these changes in my life. This will help you, whether it be with the habit tracker or if you want to save money with the budget portion of this, the budget tracker, so to speak. But yeah, that's heavily influential into the way that I do my planning. It's not just planning for planning's sake or just filling it in so that it can look pretty. First off, mine are pretty much never going to look pretty. This is as pretty as it gets. I just want to add in the text and put in some symbols, kind of like bullet journaling, where it can easily tell me the status of something. This tells me I've moved that item over and over again. Let's do something about it. Or is it time to let it go completely? So with this business, for example, I wrote out a pretty harsh truth for myself, and I want to record it just on the audio. And kind of like what I was saying earlier was truthless about the darker why, with the whole, wanting someone else to kind of show someone else up. This is like kind of my darker, you can do it kind of thing, when I'm talking to my friends, and I'm very aware that this is how I operate. I'm always motivating others with the you can do it, you got this, like the emoji with the hands up. And I'm like, yes. And I'm always encouraging my friends. One of my girlfriends, she went and brought my car the other day. It was midday, I was working, I was really tired, and I thought, yeah, I could just take her on my lunch break. She needed to be there at 1. And I was working from home since she lives like 5 minutes away. And then I was like, you know what? Why don't I just pick you up? You can drop me off at my house again. It's very close to where I live. Then you can go to work, which is like 10 minutes south. And then just bring my car back later. Then I'll take you home. And she's like, yeah, I'm like, cool. And so that way on lunch, instead of driving around, I could just take a nap. I was really tired. So I'm just chilling. I get up and head over, and she's like, oh, there's not enough time. We just need to go straight there. I'm like, no, I'll just drop myself off and then just take my car. Well, I live in this like condominium area that's basically like apartment style, where each building is a different letter and it's easy to get lost in. Happens all the time. She's like, I'm gonna get lost in your neighborhood and I'm not gonna find a way out. And I know myself, I'm gonna get flustered. And I'm like, girl, you were in the Navy. How can you be like, she's like, I'm directionally challenged. I'm like, what? No way. Like, I figured those skills you would have like developed in that environment, but like, I don't know what that environment's like at all. Working 911, that really made me more aware of directions and, streets, maps, and being aware of location, which is, by the way, the most important thing that the operator needs to know. Because if you're dying, someone else is dying, they can't help you if they don't know where you are. So you try to give his backstory of your uncle's cousins, this and that. Where are you? We'll get you help. It's going to be police or an ambulance or the fire department or animal control. Either way, we can get you help. Just need to know where you are. So always remember the location of where you are. People kind of laugh when I say that. I'm like, okay, well, where are you right now? What's the address here? Even at our own like day jobs, it's like, oh, it's right here. It's the name of the place. That's not always going to work. I can go into like way more detail of why, but it'll usually work. It'll usually be fine. It'll be fine. Just try to have a general idea of your location. So she's like, no, I'm directionally challenged. I am not going to be able to get out of your little like neighborhood. So I'm like, okay, drop me off at the entrance of my neighborhood. That way you still can see the main road. Can't miss it. Like 2 blocks in. Just get back on the main road and you're fine. Roundabout, back out. Like, I'll even watch you. I'll call you. I'll be on the phone with you, like navigating you out. And she was a little hesitant. I was like, hey, we're doing this. There's no way you can mess this up. So she drops me off, roundabout back onto the main road. I walk home, like just a few minutes walking. Message her a few minutes later, like, you make it to work? She's like, yeah, with 2 minutes to spare. And I love that because she did it. And I can do that for her. I'm like, you can do it. You got this. And I really do believe in my friends, and I believe in you. Like, you can do it. Whenever I see people doing really well on something, people always want to say, oh, they got lucky. Yeah, to some degree, there's always some element of luck that the timing is right, that they happen to be this, that, or the other. Then I see things, I'm like, they're not that good. Whatever they made is not that of high quality or of that value or interesting or whatever, but it still works, and it works for them, and they just did it. That's it. They did the thing. It probably was a lot of work, just like right now, it's a lot of work of doing it. And there's probably a lot of work behind the scenes on that where I'm not trying to discredit their merit, but they still did it. My point is not so much that I don't think that people just get lucky. Again, yes, I think there's a portion of that, small portion. And yes, they put in work. But that's the point. They put in work. They did it. And then they kept doing it. And then they got better at it. And then they became successful, whatever that means to them. For me, I just want to be comfortable. So the reason why I was telling that story is because I don't talk to myself that way. It's really weird. And if I'm being just brutally honest with my own internal dialogue, it's like, yeah, I know I can do it. Like this. I know I can do it. I didn't know it would be so much of a struggle with the technology, but we're here. So like losing my train of thought because I got sidetracked with something on my planner. I can't just tell myself you can do it because it's like, yeah, I know I can do it. And then here come the excuses or the I don't want to or the later or the procrastination or the insert excuse type of thing here, even if it's not like a direct excuse. So instead, how I motivate myself is to say, like, you've done harder things. You can do this. Because I think that's a big part of it. Like, this is going to be hard. It's going to be painful. It's going to be, whatever. And here's what I wrote out that I want to, record on audio for myself, maybe as an alarm or just as one of those things where it's like, note to self kind of thing. And I wrote out, and it's been a little while, so hopefully it's grammatically correct and all of that. It says, if I'm really going to be doing all this work, then I may as well document it and monetize it, since this will all literally take at least an hour each day. And that comes from me making a list of like, okay, so if I have these goals of having like 1,000 followers on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, whatever that looks like, Instagram is probably my most promising one because I have 400 and some followers, whereas on YouTube I have like 66. So midway through the year, it's like, what's more realistic? Anyway, so if I want to do all these things and I want to post consistently and I want to do it like a few times a week, for me right now, at the skill level that I'm at with all of that, and with having to do screen recording to show spreadsheet content, that is going to take me at least an hour a day. And so continued writing that that's the only way that I can do it. Either make a habit out of doing this every day or call it what it is, a hobby. If I can't get up and do this or set some boundaries on when I'll be doing this, I put by 8:03 at 9 p.m. So by yesterday, I should just close down the business. Similar to when my partner said a few years ago, he's like, I could save X by this time next year or a couple of years. And I thought, you kind of need to save more than that. And he gave me some reason not to, whatever it was, didn't want to, limit himself that much but at some point, we all need a little bit of marching gear, the hope that kind of need and want. Especially with the whole essentially F you to certain people. Because, or just call it what it is, a hobby, instead of a business. And I'd love to, just for the sake of doing it. And if I seem that, people might even say, I just love doing this. I just love baking. And yeah, there'd be some truth to that. But if you're being really honest, then why are you putting it out there for other people? Taste of financial freedom or gear or anything like that. It'd be nice to be able to fund it without red bank, so to speak. So yeah, I hope this was at least a little bit motivating for you. I am going to work on the website. I'm getting my connection isn't so great on the streaming. And my understanding is that if I do really change the settings, but hopefully it's coming across okay. This is a first time for me, so we'll see how it goes. Let me know if it sounds or looks terrible. Hopefully it's not like grainy or anything like that. But I need to make a web page for my new planner and then post it. And this version, it's through the second half of 2022 and you can get it for free. But when I tried going onto my website, I go through my domain and then it goes to WordPress from there. And I kept getting this error, 403 error. Oh gosh. So I tried and tried to get through that. And I was on chat with the domain host for like hours and hours, the Bluehost. It was like 5 hours that night and I was motivated. I want to do this. I'm going to upload it. I'm going to update my website because I saw my website for the first time in a while and it was pretty outdated and old looking. Like I need to, clean it up a bit, remove like outdated planners that are legit outdated. And I got stuck with that and then finally made some progress to get that cleared up. But man, all these setbacks, it really pushes you. So when I see people who do have a lot of content out there, especially if they appear to be working like a solopreneur type, like props, because it's so much work to maintain a website, to maintain like the social media and all of this. And for me, that's like exhausting. But I love the planners. I love getting to share with people how they can use them to their benefit. And that's why I really like this whole get your sheet together idea, because I don't like planners or our spreadsheets either for the sake of them. I like for what they can do for you with, helping you get more out of life, whatever that means to you. I'm not here to proselytize. I'm not here to tell you what to believe, just to get more of what you do believe in, hopefully. Yeah, so it's more than just put it on the website. You need to have, like, I'm looking at the pages, and it's like really stuck in my hair. There we go. I hope that sound, by the way, is like my feet on this, like, whatever you call a mat, the anti-fatigue mat, so that hopefully I'm not so fatigued. It's a little less brutal than just being on wood floor. And I'm doing this standing up because I don't want to get legit comfortable and lazy. And I do sit like at work all day. I don't have the option of a sit stand. So trying to do that while I'm working here. But when I say it's not just, just put it on the website, and also updating the website, it's making a listing. So you're going to, when you make a product, so on WordPress, for example, mine's connected through WooCommerce. So if I go to products and go to add new, it's going to want a picture of it. And that's another piece of where I'm like, oof, there's a lot to do there. And I'll use Canva to help make those pictures. So you want your thumbnail picture, and you're going to kind of want like a slideshow of the different pictures to kind of give a preview of it. At the very least, you'll want a thumbnail, because we're all pretty visual, right? You see it, you see like the theme, the color, the layout, all of that before you decide if you want to download it. So I still have to do that. I wonder if you could even hear me. I don't see the mic increasing. I've been talking this whole time and you probably can't hear like a single thing. See the mic go up like one little, not even parse dots. But I guess we'll see. I'll replay this later and see how awful it was and call it a test run. It's practice. It's all practice, right? Business planner. And for testing's sake, because I will listen back at this, may as well get a mic out. This is a very long mic that's meant to plug into your phone or camera. Have it wrapped around this here in an effort to not get tangled, and yet it is a bit tangled. That's okay. I made this mess, I can undo it. I usually don't need to extend it that long, but right now we do. I wonder how many feet long it is typically, like 6 feet maybe. There. Smarter, not harder. Where's the audio jack? Hello. Let's see. You hear anything? The mic doesn't look any different to me if I click on. I can mute the mic apparently, looks like, but not change source. Edit. It's very slow. Let me close my window. It's not light out anymore. So I guess I cannot change the mic. Whatever. I'll try it with the mic next time. I think I'm going to try this again in the morning now that I actually have it set up legitimately this time. Trying to. Oh. What about now? Does it sound better? No, I don't see any difference. Have batteries in the little case here. Doesn't seem to make a difference. everything is moving really slow because of the live stream. I figured out how to put my DSLR as my camera instead of the webcam of my Surface, but I don't want to further delay doing any of this just out of, being a perfectionist or anything. But as you can see, it is pretty slow. Like the tabs still have not appeared at the bottom. Now they appear. So I will figure something out. Maybe even get my iPad to work. I'm not an Apple person, so I'm surprised that didn't work out too well for me, even though is what I was hoping to bank on so that I could use this computer at its full capacity to get work done. This happens to me when I'm on Zoom. So I'll use the iPad for Zoom on the same kind of stand, well, the exact same stand that this computer is on that you're looking at me through. And then I'll use my Surface as my computer so that I can work on things, or if something's referenced, go find that documentation or anything like that while Zoom is not like slowing down my computer significantly. I feel like that's how it is with YouTube right now. It's just slowing it down big time. It'll get better. Like I said, this is the first time. There's going to be some hiccups. So I think I actually got screenshots of every page, and I put it in Canva. And now I have to see if I want to screenshot, but have it look like it's like on your phone, and then like that way you can see what it looked like on your phone or look like on a computer or something. So that's my next step here, to make like a thumbnail. It's too slow to actually get work done on the same computer that I'm trying for. So I will call it here at the 47-minute mark. So hopefully you play this back when you're going to get things done. Let's get shit done. I'm going to turn this off so I can use my computer at its full capacity and then figure out how to put it on another device. So within the next day or so, I can actually have the planner up on the website. It's been done for about a month. Time is not slowing down. It's just speeding by. It's just, I still haven't done it. I was excited doing it. I love doing it. If I'm going to get it out there, then of course I have to, which I still haven't done. If I make it just for me, that's done. But if I want to do this to help other people, I'm failing at that right now. That's what I'm working on right now. Canva still hasn't even loaded. Look at this. It's insane. And my Surface is generally not slow. It's just, I guess, the bandwidth of doing the live stream. Anyway, thanks for joining. Leave some comments. Let me know your thoughts. What do you want to see next? And I'll be on here tomorrow morning at 6. So now that I've made that promise out loud. Okay, 6:30. 6:30 Mountain Time. Let's do it. Let's get shit done. Good night.